Captain Jake Miller stood on the bridge of his ship, the Star Ranger. The lights blinked on the control panels around him. His crew worked quietly at their stations. Space looked empty and dark through the big windows. "Captain, we are getting a signal," said Officer Ryan Brooks. He sat at the communications desk. His face looked worried. "It sounds like someone needs help." Jake walked over to Ryan's station. "What kind of signal?" "It's coming from a small ship. The signal is weak. I think the ship is damaged." Ryan pressed some buttons. Strange sounds came through the speakers. "Can you understand what they are saying?" Jake asked. "Not yet, sir. The language is not human. But the computer is working on it." Ryan kept trying different settings. Dr. Lisa Carter came onto the bridge. She was the ship's doctor. Her medical bag hung over her shoulder. "I heard we found someone who needs help." "Maybe," Jake said. "Ryan, where is this signal coming from?" Ryan pointed to his screen. "About 2 miles away. There is a small ship floating in space. It looks badly damaged." Jake thought for a moment. Space could be dangerous, but people in trouble needed help. That was what humans did. They helped others. "Take us closer," Jake told his pilot, Danny Walsh. "But be careful." Danny nodded and pushed some controls. The Star Ranger moved toward the damaged ship. Through the windows, they could see it clearly now. The small ship had holes in its side. Parts of it were missing. Black marks showed where fire had burned the metal. "That ship has been in a fight," said Security Chief Amy Foster. She had just arrived on the bridge. "Those look like weapon marks." Jake studied the damaged ship. It was much smaller than the Star Ranger. The design was strange. He had never seen anything like it before. "Captain," Ryan said, "the computer has translated some of the signal. Someone inside that ship is asking for help. They say they are hurt and alone." "Life signs?" Jake asked Dr. Carter. Lisa looked at her medical scanner. "Yes, I can detect one life form. It's weak but alive. We need to help them soon." Jake made his decision. "Amy, take a team and board that ship. Lisa, go with them. Be careful. We don't know what happened here." Amy nodded. "Yes, sir. I'll take Paul and Kate with me." Lieutenant Paul Martin was a good soldier. Engineer Kate Rodriguez knew about fixing ships. They would make a good rescue team. The team put on their spacesuits and left the Star Ranger. Jake watched them float through space toward the damaged ship. They found a hole in the side and went inside. "Captain," Amy's voice came through the radio. "We are inside the ship now. The air is thin, but we can breathe. There is damage everywhere." "Any sign of the survivor?" Jake asked. "We are looking now. The ship is small. It won't take long to search." Amy's voice sounded different through the radio. A few minutes passed. Then Amy spoke again. "Captain, you need to see this. We found the survivor." "What is it?" Jake asked. "It's a child, sir. A small alien child. She is hurt and scared. Dr. Carter is checking her now." Jake felt worried. A child alone in space was terrible. "How bad are her injuries?" Dr. Carter's voice came through the radio. "She has some cuts and bruises. She is very scared. But I think she will be okay." "Captain, she is so small. Maybe 3 feet tall. She looks like she is only a few years old." "Bring her to the Star Ranger," Jake said. "Be very gentle." Soon the team came back with their rescue. Jake waited in the medical room. When they arrived, he saw the small alien for the first time. She was tiny, just like Dr. Carter had said. Her skin was pale blue. Her hair was white and soft. But her eyes were the most amazing thing about her. They were big and purple, like flowers. She looked at Jake with fear and sadness. "Hello," Jake said softly. He knelt down to be closer to her size. "My name is Jake. You are safe now." The little alien did not answer. She looked around the room with her big purple eyes. Everything was new and strange to her. Dr. Carter worked on the alien's injuries. "She has a few cuts, but nothing serious. She is mostly scared and tired. Can she understand us? Jake asked. Ryan had brought his computer to the medical room. I am working on her language. Give me a few minutes. While Ryan worked, Jake stayed near the small alien. He wanted her to know she was safe. Cook Danny Walsh brought some food and water. The alien looked at the food but did not eat. She might not know if our food is safe for her, Dr. Carter said. We need to be careful. After an hour, Ryan smiled. I think I have it. The computer can translate her language now. Jake looked at the small alien again. Hello, he said. The computer made strange sounds, translating his words into her language. The alien's eyes grew wide. She made soft sounds back. The computer translated, Who are you? Where am I? You are on our ship, Jake said. We found you in space. Your ship was damaged. What is your name? The alien spoke again. The computer said, My name is Zara. Are you going to hurt me? Jake felt sad that she was so scared. No, Zara. We will not hurt you. We want to help you. Can you tell us what happened to your ship? Zara made longer sounds this time. The computer translated, Bad men came. They had big ships with guns. They shot at our ships. They took everyone away. I hid in a small room. When they left, I got in an escape pod. Who did they take? Jake asked gently. Zara's eyes filled with tears. They took Papa. They took Mama. They took my brothers and sisters. They took everyone. I was alone. Jake felt angry. Someone had attacked this child's family and taken them away. That was terrible. Where are they now? Jake asked. I don't know, Zara said through the computer. The bad men fly away with everyone. I have been alone for many days. Dr. Carter checked Zara again. She needs rest and food. But I think she will be okay. Jake looked at the tiny alien child. She was far from home and alone. Her family was gone. Someone had to help her. Zara, Jake said, you will stay with us. We will take care of you. And we will try to find your family. Zara looked at him with her big purple eyes. She did not look like she believed him. But she nodded slowly. Jake knew this was just the beginning. He had to find out who had taken Zara's family. And he had to help this small, scared child feel safe again. 3 days had passed since they found Zara. The small alien child stayed close to Dr. Carter most of the time. She was still scared and did not trust the humans very much. Captain Jake Miller visited the medical room every day. Each time, Zara would hide behind Dr. Carter. Her big purple eyes watched Jake carefully. She was afraid he might hurt her. She is getting stronger, Dr. Carter told Jake. Her cuts are healing well. But she is still very scared. Does she talk about her family? Jake asked. Sometimes. She cries when she thinks about them. She says her papa is a king of her people. Her mama is a queen. She is a princess. Jake felt surprised. A princess? We rescued a royal child. Dr. Carter nodded. Her people are called the Zilani. They are traders and diplomats. According to our computer, they are known for being very smart and peaceful. Jake looked at Zara, who was sitting on a bed in the medical room. She was so small and fragile. It was hard to believe she was a princess. What else does she say? Jake asked. She talks about her home planet. It sounds beautiful. Lots of gardens and pretty buildings. Her people love music and art. Dr. Carter lowered her voice. She also talks about the bad men who took her family. What does she know about them? Not much. She calls them the red ships. They came without warning. They had many ships and big guns. They took all the Zilani ships. Jake felt angry again. Pirates had attacked peaceful people and taken them away. This was wrong. Over the next few days, Zara slowly began to explore the Star Ranger. She was very curious about everything. She would touch the walls and look at the lights. Everything was new to her. Danny Walsh, the cook, was the first person Zara started to trust besides Dr. Carter. He would bring her special food that was safe for her to eat. He would sit with her and make funny faces that made her laugh. "She has a beautiful laugh," Danny told Jake. "When she laughs, her whole face lights up. She should laugh more." Engineer Kate Rodriguez also became friends with Zara. Kate showed her how the ship's computers worked. Zara was very smart and learned quickly. "Captain," Kate said to Jake one day, "this little princess knows more about technology than some of my engineers. Her people must be very advanced." Security Chief Amy Foster was more careful around Zara. Amy was a soldier and did not know how to act around small children. But even Amy smiled when Zara would wave at her in the hallways. Lieutenant Paul Martin would tell Zara stories about Earth and humans. Zara loved hearing about different planets and people. She had many questions about everything. But Jake noticed that Zara was still scared of him. Whenever he came near, she would become quiet and watchful. This made Jake sad. He wanted to help her, but she did not trust him yet. One evening, Jake was in his office doing paperwork. The door was open. He heard small footsteps in the hallway. When he looked up, he saw Zara standing in his doorway. "Hello, Zara," Jake said softly. He did not want to scare her away. Zara stood very still. She looked around Jake's office with her big purple eyes. She saw pictures on his desk and books on his shelves. "Would you like to come in?" Jake asked. Zara took one small step into the office. Then another. She was being very careful. Jake stayed in his chair. He did not want to move too fast and scare her. "Are you looking for something?" Zara pointed at a picture on Jake's desk. It showed Jake with his parents and sister. They were all smiling. "That is my family," Jake said. "Those are my parents. That is my sister." Zara moved closer to look at the picture. "They look happy," she said through her translator. "Yes, they are. We love each other very much." Zara touched the picture gently. "I miss my family." Jake felt his heart break a little. "I know you do. We are still looking for them. Do you think they are still alive?" Zara asked. Her voice was very small. Jake wanted to tell her yes, but he did not know for sure. "I hope so. We will not stop looking for them." Zara climbed onto a chair next to Jake's desk. She was so small that her feet did not touch the floor. "Captain Jake," she said, "why are you helping me?" Jake thought about this question. "Because it is the right thing to do. Because you needed help. Because no child should be alone and scared. The bad men said humans are dangerous. They said humans hurt other people." Jake felt sad that someone had told Zara this. Some humans do bad things, but most humans try to help others. We try to do what is right. Zara looked at Jake for a long time. Her purple eyes were very serious. "In my dreams," she said, "I see the bad men coming back. They take me away too. They sell me like they sold my family." "Sell you?" Jake asked. He did not understand. "That is what the bad men do. They take people and sell them to other people. Like things in a store. My papa told me about this before. He said some people in space are very bad." Jake felt sick. Zara was talking about slavery. People were buying and selling other people like objects. "Zara," Jake said, "no one will sell you. No one will take you away. I promise." But Zara shook her head. "Everyone gets sold eventually. That is what happens to people like me." Jake knelt down next to Zara's chair. "What do you mean, people like you?" "Small people. Weak people. People who cannot fight back. We get sold to work for the big people." Jake felt tears in his eyes. This small child thought that being sold was normal. She thought it would happen to her eventually. "Zara," Jake said, "humans do not sell people. We think that is very wrong. No one will ever sell you." Zara looked at Jake. She saw the tears in his eyes. This confused her. "Why are you crying?" she asked. "Because you should never have to worry about being sold. Because no child should have to think about such terrible things." Zara reached out and touched one of Jake's tears. "Adults cry too." "Yes, when we are very sad. And it makes me very sad that you have been so scared and alone." For the first time since they found her, Zara smiled at Jake. It was a small smile, but it was real. "Maybe humans are different," she said. "Yes," Jake said. "We are different. And you are safe with us." That night, Zara slept better than she had in weeks. For the first time, she began to believe that maybe she really was safe. Maybe these humans really would not hurt her. But deep in her heart, she still worried. She had heard too many stories about what happened to people like her. She would wait and see if the humans really were different. Jake could not sleep that night. He kept thinking about what Zara had said. Somewhere in space, people were buying and selling other people. Zara's family might be slaves right now. He had to find them. He had to save them. And he had to make sure Zara never had to worry about being sold again. The next morning, Jake called his crew together. It was time to hunt down the people who had taken Zara's family. It was time to fight back against the slave traders. It was time to show them what humans did to people who hurt children. One week had passed since Zara first came to Jake's office. Now she visited him every evening. She would sit in the big chair next to his desk and watch him work. Sometimes she would ask questions about the papers he was reading. Other times she would just sit quietly. Jake enjoyed these visits. Zara was very smart and asked good questions about everything. She wanted to know how the ship worked, why humans traveled in space, and what Earth looked like. "Do all humans live on Earth?" Zara asked one evening. "Most of us do," Jake said. "But some of us travel to other planets. Some humans live on space stations or other worlds now." "Why do you travel so far from home?" Jake thought about this. "We are curious. We want to learn about new places and meet new people. We want to explore and discover things." Zara nodded. "My papa says the same thing about our people. We like to travel and trade with others. We like to learn new things." Jake smiled. "Your papa sounds like a wise king." "He is the best papa in the whole galaxy," Zara said. Her eyes became sad again. "I miss him so much." "We are still looking for him," Jake said. "Officer Brooks is checking every report and message we can find. We will find your family." Ryan Brooks had been working very hard to track down information about the slave traders. He had found some leads, but nothing solid yet. During these evening visits, Zara had started to tell Jake more about her life before the attack. She talked about her home planet, with its beautiful gardens and crystal cities. She talked about her brothers and sisters, who loved to play games and sing songs together. "My little brother Kip is very funny," Zara said. "He makes jokes all the time. He can make anyone laugh, even when they are sad." "How old is Kip?" Jake asked. "He is 2 years younger than me. But he is not scared of anything. He always protects me when I am frightened." Jake felt sad thinking about Zara's little brother. Where was he now? Was he scared? Was someone taking care of him? "Tell me about your sister," Jake said. "I have 2 sisters. Mira is older than me. She is very smart and learns everything very fast. Nala is younger. She loves to sing. She has the most beautiful voice." Zara's face lit up when she talked about her family. But then it would become sad again when she remembered they were gone. The crew of the Star Ranger had all grown to love Zara. Danny Walsh made special treats for her every day. Kate Rodriguez taught her about engineering. Even Amy Foster had started to smile and wave when she saw Zara in the hallways. Dr. Carter said that Zara was healing well, not just from her injuries but from her fear. She laughed more now. She played simple games with the crew. She was starting to act like a normal child instead of a scared refugee. But Jake noticed that Zara still had nightmares sometimes. Dr. Carter would find her crying in her sleep, calling for her parents. The trauma of losing her family was still very deep. One evening, Jake was working late in his office. He was reading reports about slave trading in their sector of space. The information was disturbing. Thousands of people from many different planets were being captured and sold every year. Zara came to his office as usual. She climbed into her favorite chair and watched Jake work. "What are you reading tonight?" she asked. Jake did not want to tell her about the slave trading reports. She was too young to hear such terrible things. "Just ship reports," Jake said. "Nothing interesting." But Zara was very smart. She had learned to read some human words over the past week. "That word says, slave," Zara said, pointing at Jake's screen. "And that one says, auction." Jake quickly closed the report. "It is just information we need for our job." Zara was quiet for a moment. Then she asked, "Are you looking for the places where they sell people like my family?" Jake sighed. He could not lie to her. "Yes. We are trying to find where the slave traders go. We think that is where your family might be." Zara nodded. "I knew you were looking for them. You are a good captain." They sat quietly for a while. Jake went back to reading other reports. Zara swung her legs from the big chair and hummed a soft song. Then Zara asked the question that changed everything. "Captain Jake," she said in her small voice, "when we get to the next station, will you sell me like Papa?" Jake stopped reading. He looked at Zara with shock. "What did you say? Will you sell me like Papa was sold? I know that is what happens to people like me. You have been very kind, but I know eventually you will need to sell me." Jake felt like someone had hit him in the chest. He could not breathe properly. Tears came to his eyes immediately. "Zara," he said, his voice shaking, "why would you ask that?" Zara looked confused by Jake's reaction. "Because that is what always happens. The bad men sell people like my family. Even nice people sell us eventually. We are small and useful, so people buy us to work for them." Jake got up from his chair and knelt down next to Zara. Tears were running down his face now. "Zara, no one will ever sell you. Not me, not anyone on this ship, not anyone ever." But Zara shook her head. "You say that now. But when someone offers you money for me, you will sell me. Everyone does. That is how things work." Jake was crying harder now. "That is not how things work with humans. We do not sell people. We think that is the most terrible thing anyone can do." Zara reached out and touched one of Jake's tears, just like she had done before. "Then why are you crying?" she asked. "Because you are just a child. You should never have to worry about being sold. You should never have to think that the people who care about you might sell you." Jake took Zara's small hands in his. "Zara, listen to me very carefully. I will never sell you. No one on this ship will ever sell you. We would rather die than let anyone hurt you or take you away." Zara looked into Jake's eyes. She had never seen an adult cry because of something that might happen to her. She had never seen anyone so upset about the idea of selling her. "Do you really mean that?" she asked. "Yes," Jake said. "I promise you. I swear on my life. No one will ever sell you." Zara was quiet for a long moment. Then she did something she had never done before. She hugged Jake. "I believe you," she whispered. Jake hugged her back gently. She was so small and fragile. The idea that anyone would sell this sweet child made him feel sick and angry. "Zara," Jake said, "can you tell me more about how your people get sold? I need to understand this better." Zara pulled back from the hug but stayed close to Jake. "The bad men take people from their ships," she said. "Then they take them to special places called auction markets. People come there to buy slaves. They look at the people and decide how much money to pay for them. What happens to the people who get sold? They have to work for whoever buys them. They clean things, fix things, serve food. The small people like us work in tiny spaces that big people cannot fit in. We are good at fixing small machines." Jake felt sick. "And no one ever gets free." The Star Ranger traveled through space as fast as it could go. Captain Jake Miller stood on the bridge, watching the stars streak by. In 2 days, they would reach the Kepler system. In 2 days, they might find Zara's family. Officer Ryan Brooks had been working day and night to learn more about the slave auction. What he found made everyone angry. "Captain," Ryan said, "the auction is being run by a group called the Crimson Fleet. They are the biggest slave traders in this part of space." "How many ships do they have? asked Security Chief Amy Foster. At least 20 big warships. Maybe more. They also have smaller ships for catching people. Jake felt worried. The Star Ranger was a good ship, but they could not fight 20 warships alone. What about the auction itself? Jake asked. It is happening on a space station called Black Rock. The station is hidden inside an asteroid field. It is hard to find and hard to attack. Dr. Carter had been listening to their conversation. How many people are being sold? Ryan looked at his computer. The reports say over 300 beings from dozens of different planets. Many of them are children. Jake felt sick. 300 people, including children, were going to be sold like objects. We have to save them all, Jake said. Amy Foster looked worried. Captain, we are just one ship. How can we fight the Crimson Fleet and save everyone? Jake was quiet for a moment. Then he smiled. We are not going to fight them head-on. We are going to be sneaky. Over the next day, Jake and his crew made a plan. It was dangerous, but it was their only chance. Amy Foster would take a team and pretend to be buyers at the auction. They would dress like rich slave owners and try to bid on Zara's family. This would get them inside the station. Meanwhile, Jake would take another team and sneak onto the station from a different direction. They would find where the slaves were being kept and free as many as possible. Engineer Kate Rodriguez would stay with the Star Ranger and jam the station's communication systems. This would stop the Crimson Fleet from calling for help. What about me? Zara asked. She had been listening to their planning. You will stay on the ship where it is safe, Jake said. But Zara shook her head. I need to come with you. I know about my people's language and customs. I can help you find my family. It is too dangerous, Dr. Carter said. You could get hurt. My family is in danger right now, Zara said. I want to help save them. Jake looked at the small alien princess. She was brave and smart. She might be able to help them. If you come with us, Jake said, you must promise to do exactly what we tell you. No arguments. Zara nodded. I promise. The next day, they reached the Kepler system. The asteroid field was huge and dark. It took them several hours to find the Black Rock station. The station was built inside a giant asteroid. Only small parts of it could be seen from outside. Ships were docked all around it. Look at all those ships, Lieutenant Paul Martin said. There must be hundreds of people here for the auction. Jake felt disgusted. All these people had come to buy other people. Amy Foster and her team got ready to leave. They wore expensive clothes and tried to look like wealthy slave buyers. Paul Martin and Danny Walsh went with her. Remember, Jake told them, try to find Zara's family. But do not do anything dangerous until we are in position. Jake's team got ready next. He took Zara, Dr. Carter, and 2 other crew members. They put on dark clothes and brought weapons. Kate, Jake said over the radio, are you ready to jam their communications? Yes, Captain. Just give me the word. Jake's team took a small shuttle and flew to the back of the asteroid station. They found a maintenance entrance that was not well guarded. 2 guards, Dr. Carter whispered. How do we get past them? Jake signaled to his team. They moved quietly through the asteroid rocks. When the guards were not looking, they grabbed them and tied them up. Sorry, Jake whispered to the unconscious guards. But you work for slavers. They went through the maintenance entrance into the station. The inside was dark and smelly. They could hear voices and machinery in the distance. Zara held Jake's hand tightly. She was scared, but she was trying to be brave. They moved through the maintenance tunnels, looking for the main part of the station. After 10 minutes, they found a vent that led to the auction area. Jake looked through the vent. Below them was a huge room full of people. On a stage at the front, someone was selling a family of blue-skinned aliens to the highest bidder. Jake felt sick watching people buy other people. But he forced himself to look for Zara's family. There. Zara whispered. I can see them. Jake looked where Zara was pointing. In a cage near the stage, he could see a group of small aliens who looked like Zara. One of them was taller than the others and wore royal clothes, even though they were dirty and torn. Is that your father? Jake asked. Yes, Zara said, tears in her eyes. That is Papa. And I can see Mama and my brothers and sisters too. Jake counted the aliens in the cage. There were 8 of them, including Zara's parents. Kate, Jake whispered into his radio, start jamming their communications now. Done, Captain, Kate's voice came back. They cannot call for help. Jake looked around the huge auction room. There were hundreds of cages with people from many different planets. This was worse than he had imagined. We cannot save everyone at once, Jake told his team. We need to be smart about this. Amy Foster's voice came through Jake's radio. Captain, we are inside the auction room. We can see Zara's family too. They are scheduled to be sold in 1 hour. Can you bid on them? Jake asked. We are going to try. But there are other people here who want to buy them too. Jake thought quickly. They needed to cause a distraction so they could free the slaves without anyone noticing. Paul, Jake said over the radio, can you start a fight or something? We need everyone to look away from the cages. I think I can arrange that, Paul said. A few minutes later, Jake heard shouting from the auction room. Paul had started arguing with another buyer about who had bid first on a slave. Soon other people were shouting too. Now, Jake whispered to his team. They dropped down from the vent into the area behind the cages. There were several guards, but they were all watching the fight in the main room. Jake and Dr. Carter moved toward the cage where Zara's family was being kept. The lock on the cage was electronic and looked complicated. I can open it, Zara whispered. I know about Zelani technology. Zara touched some buttons on the lock. It clicked open immediately. The aliens inside the cage looked surprised and scared. They did not know if Jake's team was there to help them or hurt them. The tall alien, who was Zara's father, stepped forward. He spoke in the Zelani language. Papa, Zara said, running to him. The king's eyes grew wide when he saw his daughter. He picked her up and held her tightly, tears running down his face. Zara, my little star, how are you here? The humans saved me, Papa. Now we are going to save you too. Jake felt happy watching the family reunion, but they did not have much time. We need to go, Jake said. His translator changed his words into Zelani. King Theron looked at Jake. You are the human who saved my daughter? Yes. But we need to leave now. This place is not safe. The king nodded. What about the others? He pointed to the other cages full of slaves. Jake looked around. There were hundreds of people in cages. They could not save them all, but they had to try. Free as many as you can, Jake told his team. Start with the children. They moved quickly from cage to cage, opening locks and freeing the slaves. Many of the people were scared and did not understand what was happening. Tell them we are here to help, Jake said to King Theron. The king spoke in several different languages. Soon the freed slaves understood that these humans were trying to save them. But their escape was not going to be easy. One of the guards noticed that cages were being opened. Hey! Someone is freeing the slaves, the guard shouted. Suddenly alarms started ringing throughout the station. Red lights flashed everywhere. So much for being sneaky, Dr. Carter said. Amy Foster's voice came through the radio. Captain, the auction has stopped. Everyone knows something is wrong. We need to get out of here fast. More guards were running toward the cage area. Jake pulled out his weapon. Protect the children, Jake shouted to his team. Get them to the shuttle. A fight broke out in the auction room. Jake's team was outnumbered, but they were fighting for something important. They were fighting to free innocent people. Zara stayed close to her father, but she was not just hiding. She was helping other small aliens understand where to go and what to do. This way, she called to a group of scared children. The humans will protect us. King Theron fought alongside Jake's team. Even though he was small, he was brave and strong. My people are warriors too, he told Jake. We may be small, but we do not give up easily. Kate Rodriguez's voice came through the radio. Captain, enemy ships are trying to leave the station. I think they are going to get help. My jamming won't stop them for much longer. Jake knew they were running out of time. They had freed about 50 slaves, but there were still hundreds more in cages. "We cannot save them all right now," Jake said to his team. "We need to get these people to safety first." It hurt Jake to leave people behind, but he had to think about the ones they had already saved. Amy Foster's team was fighting their way toward Jake's group. They had their weapons out and were protecting a group of freed slaves. "The shuttle is this way," Paul Martin shouted. The group of rescued slaves followed Jake's team through the maintenance tunnels. It was crowded and scary, but they kept moving. Behind them, they could hear the Crimson Fleet guards searching for them. The guards were angry and shouting threats. Finally, they reached the shuttle. But it was very small. There were too many people to fit inside. "We need to make 2 trips," Dr. Carter said. "There is no time," Amy Foster said. "More enemy ships are coming." Jake looked at all the freed slaves. There were adults and children from many different planets. They were all looking at him with hope in their eyes. "We squeeze everyone in," Jake decided. "It will be uncomfortable, but everyone goes home together." They packed the shuttle full of people. Jake had never seen so many beings in such a small space. But no one complained. They were just happy to be free. The shuttle flew back to the Star Ranger as fast as it could go. Behind them, Jake could see enemy ships leaving the asteroid station. "Kate," Jake said over the radio, "get us out of here." "Full speed." "Already working on it, Captain," Kate replied. The Star Ranger's engines roared to life. They flew away from the asteroid field just as the Crimson Fleet ships started chasing them. "Are they following us?" Jake asked. "Yes, but we are faster," Kate said. "I think we can outrun them." Inside the shuttle, Zara was hugging all of her family members. Her little brother Kip was crying with happiness. Her sisters Mira and Nala were holding on to their parents. Queen Lyra, Zara's mother, looked at Jake with tears in her eyes. "Thank you," she said in her language. The translator turned it into English. "You saved our family. You saved our lives." King Theron put his hand on Jake's arm. "Captain Jake Miller, you and your crew have done something amazing today. You risked your lives for people you did not even know." Jake felt emotional. No child should have to worry about being sold. No family should be torn apart by slavers. "What about the others we left behind?" one of the freed slaves asked. Jake felt sad about this. They had not been able to save everyone. "We will come back," Jake promised. "This was just the beginning. We will find every slave market and shut them down." The freed slaves smiled at this. They believed Jake would keep his promise. When they reached the Star Ranger, the medical bay was ready for them. Dr. Carter and her medical team checked everyone to make sure they were healthy. Most of the freed slaves were hurt and scared, but they would recover. The important thing was that they were free. Danny Walsh prepared food for everyone. He made sure there was something safe for each different species to eat. The crew of the Star Ranger worked together to make sure all the rescued people were comfortable. They gave them clean clothes and warm beds. That night, Jake sat in his office with Zara and her family. The little princess was sitting on her father's lap, but she kept looking at Jake. "Captain Jake," Zara said, "you kept your promise. You saved my family." "We all worked together to save them," Jake said. King Theron looked serious. "Captain, what you have done today will not be forgotten. The Crimson Fleet will be angry. They will try to get revenge." Jake nodded. "I know. But we could not let innocent people suffer." "Then we will stand with you," the king said. "My people and your people will fight together against the slavers." Queen Lyra smiled. "Zara has told us how kind you and your crew have been to her. You treated our daughter like she was your own family." "She is family now," Jake said. "All of you are." Zara jumped off her father's lap and hugged Jake tightly. "Thank you for not selling me," she whispered. Jake hugged her back. "Thank you for trusting us." As Jake looked around at Zara's family, he knew this was just the beginning of their friendship. Together, humans and Zilani would fight against slavery and protect innocent people throughout the galaxy. The question that had once made him cry had brought two species together. And together, they would make sure no child would ever have to ask that terrible question again.